Welcome back to the show, everybody. IGN Live from Comic-Con, presented by the all-new LG G4. I'm Damon Hatfield. This is Chris Tilley. Remember, you can be part of the show by tweeting your questions at IGN with the hashtag IGN Live. Okay, it's time to talk Pride and Prejudice and zombies. Joining us now, Lily James, Sam Riley, and Jack Houston. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us about this movie. This is based on the book that takes the Jane Austen classic and throws some zombies in there.
That's exactly it.
Nice to speak to you all.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, well, that's basically it. I mean, there's been a plague in Britain that instead of being like the Black Death or something is a plague of the undead. But more or less the story itself stays quite true to the Austen one. In the romance, the family stories, the snobbery, the class system is still there, only instead of just being the sort of pleb class, there's also now the unmentionables. And somehow we all survive and try and keep the English way of living.
Yeah.
But with zombies running around.
It's a wonderful way of describing it.
Yeah,
I'm amazed.
Very articulate, honestly.
So what's the tone of the movie? Is it played quite broadly for laughs, or is it played quite straight and the humour just comes out of the juxtaposition?
Yeah, it's played straight. It's not played for laughs at all. And I think that makes it funnier. At the very first scene, instead of all the Bennet sisters sort of sewing or knitting, they're all sat there very seriously polishing their muskets and their swords. And it's such a juxtaposition. It's so surreal. But somehow it really
Made sense.
Yeah.
By the way, that's it. It's written in such a way that, like we said, it stays so true to Jane Austen. And in that sense, you don't want to sort of do a wink or a nod or anything like that. If you play it like for the reality, if it was a reality, that's the only way it actually comes across.
Yeah.
Like in this situation with zombies, because as soon as you start making a joke of it, it kind of dies quickly.
Yeah.
So who do each of you play in the film?
I play Liz Bennet.
I'm Mr. Darcy.
I'm Mr. Wickham.
Delightful.
And do these guys have special moves or like special kills? Is there like a fighting style each of them have?
Well, the idea is that instead of sort of going to finishing school or public school or whatever, that each of us were trained in Japan if you had money and class, whereas the Bennets, who are from a slightly lower class, they trained in Japan. No, China. In China,
Yeah.
which is deemed a little bit sort of,
Yes.
grammar school.
But actually it's the best. And the Bennet sisters are the most insanely brutal and lethal fighters. And it's great. We sort of push the men aside and charge forth with swords in hand. And
Very sexy.
Yeah. I thought we were like the powerful.
It's quite something watching 5 women kill a lot of zombies.
Are there a lot of zombies in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're encroaching on Hertfordshire. There's the Inbetween, which is a sort of apocalyptic world that's sort of completely zombie-ridden. And then throughout the film, the zombies, they reach Hertfordshire, which was a safe zone. And so the story progresses as we're trying to fight off the unmentionables.
The hordes.
And are they fast or slow zombies?
Well, it depends on whether they were fast or slow human beings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if
Little
they were
slower, though,
athletic,
aren't
they
they?
could run. I saw some runners there.
There were some runners, but they sort of run in a sort of
Wasn't there?
zombie-like way. I mean,
And then the elderly ones are sort of a bit slower.
yeah. One's missing limbs are a little slow.
Slower
One
still.
leg
Pulling
pulls
themselves
you
along.
back, yeah.
And Sam, can you tell us about your Mr. Darcy? Because Colin Firth casts a bit of a shadow over that role these days, particularly in the UK. So how will your one differ? Obviously, I guess he's killing zombies, but talk about playing that character that's so beloved.
Well, it's my mum's favourite book is Pride and Prejudice. So I asked her which one was, for her, the definitive screen Darcy, and she said Colin Firth.
My mum says the same, I think.
I think most mums
Not
do.
anymore.
Yes,
You are
exactly.
sweet.
Just you wait.
Just you wait.
So I sort of saw him as like the Sean Connery of Darcy's. and I'm the Roger Moore.
I thought you were going to go with Craig.
I grew up watching.
Whoever comes after me will be Dalton,
Yeah.
Brosnan, and Craig.
Not Lazenby.
No, I'm the one with the raised eyebrow occasionally.
We actually have a question from Twitter we can pull up here. This question comes from Jamie Robbins. When the zombie apocalypse comes, how will you survive?
Well, I'd probably want my samurai sword again.
Yeah, I'd want my weapons back.
Yeah.
Kill everybody.
Yeah.
Run and hide.
Not you.
We'd be all right.
Yeah.
We've experienced it.
Yeah.
We've got training in martial arts now. Yeah.
What do you think Austen would make of this movie?
She'd love it. I think the thing that when everybody watches the BBC original and things, the one thing that is in the back of everybody's minds is that it would be a lot better if there was some zombies in it.
But it's nice to be talked about in any. I mean, I think anyone. It's in a way, it's very, I'd say, complimentary. I mean, especially to be taking something and sort of turning it into this. I think if anything, it's. I think one would be rather. It's quite admirable. I think.
Yeah.
And we've stayed really faithful, you know, the text and the love stories and the family dynamics. It's all really truthful to Jane Austen.
You'd be surprised how truthful it is, like how sort of similar it is.
Yeah,
actually.
and it's just, it raises the stakes. Everything is life and death, and so everything
Zombies
becomes...
tend to do that.
Yeah, zombies do that.
I think I read some scenes were filmed at Hatfield House. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm at Hatfield, so can you tell me which scenes? Do you remember which scenes were, so that when I'm watching, I can pick them out and know, oh, I'm here in Hatfield House.
That was
there were so many. We shot at so many houses.
That was
the
Bingley's
ball
house.
and Bingley's. Yeah,
So everything
and
at Bingley's.
Okay.
lots of all the dancing.
Yeah.
You can just know it's
dancing.
normally there.
And the kitchen, there's a kitchen zombie.
I was at that as well. Yeah.
And
I killed a room
And
full of
outside was the
children.
wedding.
Children.
Wasn't,
They're
am I right
zombies.
thinking that where you guys got married was outside?
Yeah,
it?
we got
Oh
married
yeah, we
at
got married
Hatfield.
there as well.
We just
Should have
did it- we
remembered
just
that,
did a
really,
big
shouldn't
spoiler,
I?
guys.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't read the book, I'm talking about the original Jane Austen. I mean, that's.
Jack, am I right in thinking you're playing Ben-Hur soon?
Yes.
Is that correct? What can you tell us about that? And I believe Timur Bekmambetoff's directing, so what do you think he's going to bring to that story?
It's he's very different to what he normally does, which is quite sort of, I think, effects driven. This is very sort of based in reality, and we spent about 5.5 months sort of doing everything for real. So I just finished it, so you know it should be it's pretty out there.
What can you say about your Ben-Hur then?
It's really good. No, it's it was fun. Yeah, exactly. Well, there's been quite a few, and I think it was Raymond Navarro, and then there was Charlton Heston, and it's
there was a silent one, wasn't
silent.
there?
That was Raymond Navarro one. So it's sort of an honour to be playing such an important character, but hopefully it will be all right.
And Sam, you're working with one of my favourite directors at the moment, I think, Ben Wheatley.
I am, yes.
So what can you tell us about that project?
It's fantastic. I mean, I'm really thrilled to be working with him. It's a great cast. It's basically about a gun deal in the 1970s, which is why I have this beautiful moustache. The IRA buying guns in Boston. And the gun deal goes horribly wrong, and we're trapped in the warehouse for the entire length of the film. It's a sort of an hour-and-a-half shootout.
And a great cast.
And a great
Amazing,
cast,
yeah.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right.
Sam's in it.
So Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is out February 5th next year, here in the States at least. Guys, thank you so much for coming by the show.
My
Cool.
pleasure.
Thanks for having
Thank you
us.
guys.
Stay tuned, more to come from IGN Live at Comic-Con after this.